Yeah.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Just a quick one today, doing a bit of a look over on my buddy Fadi's Monte Carlo Lowrider here. I've done some work on it previously. If you search through the videos, you'll find it near the beginning of the channel. I did a bit of a build on it and helped with the installation of the rack for the batteries and the pumps and whatnot. But yeah, just kind of going over a few things. You know, got a little bit of droopy headliner, which does happen on these cars. The glue starts to let go, so we're going to pop that out, take a look. The front pump sounds a little weak. See if you guys can hear it. Drop it down a little. Do it again for the back. The sound in the back, I mean. That's not sounding quite as strong as it normally should, so we're going to take a look at just the batteries and the pump and stuff in the back. Fix up a couple of leaks, and the rear end is making a little bit of a clunking sound when driving around. So I'm going to get in the garage here and pop it up in the air. Just take a look, see if there's anything maybe loose or banging around, or just maybe needs to be tightened up or something. So we'll take a peek and bring you along, and then go for a cruise afterwards and see how it's doing. Alright, taking a quick look at the back of the trunk here, or in the trunk, at the back. So this is currently a 6 battery setup. We have 2 batteries working together for a 24 volt system for the rear pump, and then we have 4 batteries working together for a 48 volt system for the front pump. And I had thought about just pulling this off of these batteries and attaching it to the other 2 just to see what the pump does, to see if there's anything going on with these batteries. But it doesn't look like I got enough cable there to actually make it over to that post. So I might have to just try some other things, check some connections, tighten stuff up, and see if we can get this front pump working a little better. Now, I do fabrication, but don't necessarily know a huge amount about these pumps and what to adjust. So if it's getting a little weak, might just be slowly burning out the motor. That being said, there is a little bit of leaks and stuff going on. You know, caps are kind of leaking and stuff a little bit because he keeps them a little loose. We're going to wipe all that down, clean it up, look for any leaks, make sure all this stuff, you know, is nice and tight and whatnot, and just kind of see what we can do in the back and move on from there. Alright, I've done a little bit of messing around, and it's time to move on because I'm not really getting much results. Have put some Teflon tape on the plugs and have those nice and tight, so that's not going to leak anymore. Hoses are doing pretty good. Tightened up some stuff on the batteries, and it didn't really make any improvement on the front hydraulic pump. Still basically sounds the same, so I'm going to have to do a little refresher course on how to use my multimeter to check how much amps it's drawing and stuff, if that's what I actually need to check. And would like to do a little research on how to maybe take a look at the motor, or if there's any tests I can do. And so at the moment, I'm going to leave that for later. But time to move on, jack the car up in the air a little bit, check for some clunks, and then get on to the headliner. Alright, car is in the air. Taking a look for that clunk noise and a little of the rough noises, and so far, nothing in here. This sounds beauty. Super smooth, no clunks in the rear end. I know that's not turning the drive shaft right now, but I'll check that later. So far, that is just buttery smooth. Little tiny bit of play back and forth, as you would expect. That's, from whatever I've worked on, that's about how much there usually is. And I don't have a video of driving before with the noise, so sorry about that. I'm just gonna have to go down here and see what we can see. All right. Now, It's one of my first bridges that I put in the car. Had to make some little modifications and move a couple of things. And cut some little spots out, but seems to be holding together. The little welds that I did do seem to be holding in place. I don't see any cracking on the frame or around the base of the cups. You know, exhaust bracket. That's how that works. Now the rams are leaking a little bit. They're fairly old, so I do know that it is due time to be replaced. So maybe that's where some of this noise is coming from. Now I know the cups don't normally fit over these like perfectly tight, and there's usually a little movement, but that's maybe getting a little more than there should be. Couldn't imagine that's going to be quiet driving down the road. Now the rear end is hanging in the air a little bit and stuff. I don't have it fully tight right up against there like it normally would be. You wouldn't have this much slack in the spring normally, or in the coil. But kind of needed some weight off it so I could check around. That one's nice and tight. I think this one has a bit of movement. Because I know this ring is not fully tight, so I'm going to have to clean all that off. Give her a nice clean, as it's fairly greasy. Tighten that up. There is a little set screw on the back here somewhere, because you can't see it right now. Yeah. And give that a nice tighten. Might as well do both at the same time. Let's see what else we got down here. Control arms. Yeah, that's not making any clunks or anything. Now they do hit the frame right there. I know this is upside down, so let's try to turn that right way up. So yeah, those guys do hit that a bit and cause it to bend. So we'll be looking into making them some different control arms here at some point. Lowers as well. Those guys right there. I doubt there's any clunk coming from those, but when I get a chance, I'll give those a shake. Oh, lots of leaking going on. These rams and seals are definitely toast. Let's see if I can get to the drive shaft. That's not bad. Not very much backlash. Kind of tight, but that's good. Probably a little leak going on around the old yoke or whatever that is. Well, I'm gonna say that it's a pretty good chance that the clanging noise that I'm hearing driving around is coming from those cups when hitting bumps and stuff like that. Every once in a while it is so loud that you could, you know, people on the street can probably hear it and start staring at you a little bit. Oh, yeah, that's getting pretty gross. All right, I'm going to clean that up, give them a tighten, hit them with the set screw, and at least I know the axles and stuff aren't coming out. The diff sounds pretty good. Everything's smooth. I was worried a little bit driving it around, so that's good. All right, we'll try to show this one-handed a little bit. So this got in here with your ever classic filter wrench, and got it tightened up a little bit. Tightened up this top part. Can't undo it now by hand or anything. We still have movement, which is good. And there's a little set screw on the back. So we'll just have to get in here with this little guy and give it a tighten. And should be good to go. Go and tighten the other one. I don't really like using, you know, channel locks or something like that on there, or a pipe wrench. Would probably get it a little bit tighter, but I don't feel like damaging this stuff. So I'll take that off now and get the other side done. All right, have everything kind of tightened up now in the rear end as much as I can. So I'll have to do a test drive to see how the noise is, if it's still there, what's going on. So time to move on to the headliner. I'm not going to remove it completely because the back half is all right, but I am going to take the trim and stuff down here on the sides and up top so I can let it fall down, spray everything on the inside, and stick it back up in place. Now over here amongst my mess, I did a little test spray on some fabric in the back of my vise, and it's not bad. It's actually, for only being a couple minutes, it's doing pretty good. So I think I picked a good product, and that is this guy right here. We're going to do some 3M Super Strength Super 77 for fabric and others. Here we go. Went in the house and washed my hands and arms and changed my shirt so I don't get stuff all over his car. And the nice thing is, all you need is basically a Phillips screwdriver, and you can take all this apart. Leave that, holding that up for a second. Alright, if you've ever wondered what the foam is like on one of these headliners, ain't always the prettiest when it gets really old. It just deteriorates. So the chance that I'm going to actually be able to glue that back on is going to be kind of hard and tricky. The glue might maybe hold that together a little bit. Yeah, leaves you with some really nice crumbs and stuff. So I'm gonna have to work very carefully, see if I can get this to stick and stay. It's most likely just gonna fall down again, but at least maybe I can get him a bit of time out of it. So, put a little bit of spray adhesive, just as a test run, up here in these little pockets. And like you'd expect, since this stuff deteriorates so easily, it just glued itself to that first layer and then just pulled it right off the roof. So that's really not going to work. Not even just for a quick little temporary fix. Now, obviously, in a situation like this, you should take the top or the headliner out, take it to a professional, get them to strip it all down, put some new foam on it, and respray it all. But that is just not something I'm able to do right now, and we're just trying to get Buddy down the road. So I noticed this spot up here is already missing all of it completely, and I'm wondering if I just ran a shop vac nozzle across that, if I could just easily clean it up, because if I did it by hand, it would absolutely fill Fadi's entire car with gross little particles. So maybe try a little shop vac. All right, let's see what happens here. definitely a lot better. It's a hell of a lot to have to do, though. Might as well get a mask and get it done. All right, it is day 2 out here working on the car. Getting some good headway on the headliner, and we'll show you what's going on so far. Started with the vacuum. It was working all right, getting the stuff up, but it was a little too slow. I actually moved to a bit used smooth putty scraper, not a sharp edge, but good enough, and it just pulled it right off. And just coming off in just handfuls. This stuff's absolutely torched. And then from there was still a bit kind of just on the roof, so I started blowing it down with the air gun, getting it off of there, and then finished things up by hand with this, just moving around, no drill, and pulling the last bit off. So you can see we've still got a bit on there after using the putty scraper. And then on this side, that is cleaned up. Made some marks with the other tools, which is the process. Found the best one, but maybe a smidge too late. But it's clean nonetheless. Be able to get that stuck up there and out of the way. Gonna try to use just a little tiny bit of glue, nothing too crazy, so can pull the headliner down in the future and get it done properly. I wish I knew a little more about what I was doing and had some better materials and get some foam up there right now, but that's not happening. Need to get the car back to Fadi so he can go around and cruise still for the rest of the summer. This will get the headliner out of the way for now, so might as well get it done and see how it looks. All right. We're on to the fun part. Put a couple little squirts in there just to get that held up into place in a nice straight line. It's working and looking good. This stuff is nasty, so gotta have a mask. Keep yourself healthy. And just gonna spray some glue on both surfaces a little bit. Let it dry and tack up a little bit just by the instructions on the can, and then stick it into place. I try to work across and flat and smooth. Kind of pull it towards yourself a little bit. Alright, so this is the roof all finished up. Came out looking pretty decent. Tried to do kind of the best transition I could. It's a little tiny bit bumpy, but I kind of shaved it down with my hand on a bit of an angle. Probably end up doing the rear at some point. You can already see it starting to fall down. Just didn't have time right now. You don't have the cushy feeling of like the foam anymore, but you know, at least it looks decently clean. It's not hanging down in your face. You can drive. You know, just no padding if you hit your head. So, do a little before and after picture for you, and we'll move on. Move on. Alright, as I was editing some stuff, I noticed that I somehow lost or deleted some footage. But basically got the pumps not leaking anymore and good to go. Gonna leave the pumps as they are right now. Not gonna try to fix them or anything myself. Fadi's gonna get a friend of his to put in some new motors or some new gearing and stuff like that and get them all dialed in. So that's gonna be taken care of later. The clunks are for what they are right now. We're gonna get some new parts for that, and now the headliner is all fixed and looking good. So Fadi came back, he's picked up his car, we're ready for a cruise. Completely missed the footage on that, but here you go anyways. Hope you enjoy. It's so awesome. He got away from all the traffic. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, it looks so good. Look at that unit. Yeah. Looking good, buddy.
Good, man. I'm gonna be doing 3-wheeling here.
Oh, we got ya.
That was good, man. Just killing it, man. This looks awesome.
Nice.
Thanks, bro.
You're welcome. Not hanging in your head anymore.
Oh, it's delicious, man. Look at that. Awesome.
All right, here we go.
You got it.